Welcome to Casuals of Runeterra, another special episode. I'm your host Ryan, here with the other host Hetch.
Hey, and I'm gonna immediately date the episode, but it's our first recording of the new year. Yay!
Yeah, 2026. We've had Hetch. You may not believe this. We've had 5 New Years on this show. Isn't that
we
crazy?
have had 5 New
Yeah, I
Years.
think we're in like year 6 or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, like we're because we are approaching year 6.
Yep.
Yeah, so look at us, man.
6 years of housekeeping. Up
It's
top.
6 years up top.
You can listen to us everywhere, and some of you have. We appreciate that. Visit us at podcastcore.com for all of our info. Email us at the same name at gmail.com. Follow us on all the platforms. Leave a like and comment wherever you listen. We appreciate the engagement. Word of mouth, though, has gotten us this far. So tell a friend to plan their escape by listening to the Casuals of Runeterra podcast.
And just for legal reasons, plan your escape. We had nothing to do with what was planned in the last episode. We don't know Katarina. We have no ties with Noxus. All right. I want a lawyer.
You're supposed to say that first, Hetch. You're not supposed to.
I'm screwed.
So we're talking about issue number 3. We're almost done with the comic. I don't know, halfway there, I think. I don't remember how many issues there are, but we're going to do them all. This was written by Allison Hawks, drawn by Rebekah Isaacs, and colored by Marissa Louise. And we're going to hop right into it because this is a quick one. Most of it is Sakuga, but we get to see another 2 champions that we like interact. So we start. All good stories told in 3 parts, no matter how short. Part 1, Kat sees the guards and reminds herself her father mentioned never to fight them. They are well trained, they're some of the best in the world, and they tell her to stop and drop her weapons. And she does, along with the crown, because she's a little bit cheeky.
Yeah, this is now the 3rd episode of really getting into Katarina having a flair for the dramatics.
Yep.
So of course she dropped the crown and be like, yeah, here you go, crown guard, eat it.
And that's part of it, right? That's part of the distraction element. So she does that, and then she immediately takes the body, which she was hiding on behind one of the walls, throws the king's body at one of them. This gets the attention of 2 of them, and then one of them is still stunned by this whole situation that's unfolding in front of him, and that leaves just 3 remaining that Kat can immediately deal with. And ultimately, she's able to take them all down, but acknowledges that they were well-trained and very brave.
And despite acknowledging how brave and well-trained they are, she does kind of say to herself that training is not experience.
Yeah.
And Katarina's got a lot of experience at this point. And she abuses it to her benefit, and there's a lot of bodies here now.
Yeah, and this also gives us another glimpse into the dichotomy of Katarina, right? She so easily is able to kill and do these things that you look at, and you're like, wait, she just killed all those guards, right? Like, she killed the king. This isn't something that's supposed to be so lighthearted or so simple, but she was raised an assassin, right? And despite her being an assassin, she has like a, what is it? It's the rules of engagement, essentially, where she respects her opponents most of the time because she knows if you don't, you can get caught up and you will die.
Yep. And at the end of the day, she is very confident, but she is still very grounded in that knowledge that all it takes is one slip.
Yep.
And she is focused on making sure they slip.
Exactly, especially when all the cards are stacked against her, right? But we wrap up part 1 where she begins to figure out, okay, well, how the hell am I getting out of the city? And what do I need to do once I ride back at Noxus? Because it's not all over. And meanwhile, we get a different shot of one of the captains of the Vanguard, Captain Jaredin, stumbling upon the king and his guards that are dead.
I love Jaredin in this scene because it's the open the door, see all the guards are dead, and it's just like, huh, she actually did it. That That makes things a little more complicated.
What's the sound? Wah, wah, wah.
Wah.
So this takes us to part two. And Kat is now outside, and she knows for sure that she has to get to the front gates before they close. And unfortunately, because of everything going on, they are closing them quickly due to the Mage Uprising, which is covered in Lux's comics, but we're not talking about that. And then suddenly on the roof, she's knocked off her path by dun, 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 Garen. And she sizes him up pretty quickly because she's very good at that. We've already seen a demonstration of that earlier in the comics. But there's one problem. It's that Garen thinks she's a mage, and Garen is very stubborn.
Not only is Garen very stubborn, but the entire distraction that Katarina is hinging her plan on right now is the Mage Uprising.
Yep.
Which is in Lux's comic, and that is started ultimately by Silas. But that's happening off to the side. So a lot of the meat and potatoes of the lore is over there. We'll get into it one day when we actually talk about Silas.
Yeah.
But the fact that Garen thinks that this is a mage is, or that Katarina is a mage, is really bad for Katarina because he's not gonna let go.
Yeah.
Of, like, there is no talking right now because look at around us.
Yeah.
We are surrounded by a prison outbreak. You're going back to jail.
Yeah, and Kat makes a lot of missteps here, and this is part of the romantic dance, right? The undertones of romance here, budding between these two, is that she's not really thinking straight, even though she's going through the steps, right? So she mentions, "I'm not a mage, and I don't know anything about a Silas, or I don't know anything about Silas's plans." Well, he didn't mention anything about Silas. So Garen's like, "Well, I don't believe you. You brought up the main guy that we're dealing with." And then she mentions that, "No, Lux told me." And he's like, "You know my sister. What? Where is she?" And she's like, "I don't know." but Kat's like stepping in poo and rakes constantly. It's like an Acme.
Over and over again.
just Acme products everywhere, right? And she's running into all of them. And Garen's like, "Fuck this," pulls his sword and goes into battle mode. And now Garen definitely doesn't believe her. So he draws his sword and asks, "Okay, where's my sister? Stop fucking around."
And we do get a bit of Sakuga as far as with them actually fighting.
Yeah.
And one, I do think it's illustrated like pretty well, considering the fact that the conversation is definitely the more important part.
Yeah.
But like they still made the fight look cool.
Yep.
And one of the nice things with it is that Katarina is like, damn, this guy might kill me. like this guy's good.
Yeah, they both kind of underestimate each other, right? Both in speed and skill, and then both of them end up landing a blow. And while Katarina is thrown off balance, because Garen is doing all this fight with his armor, with his massive sword, and carrying around these massive petrocyte cuffs.
He's literal Rock Lee fighting her,
Yeah.
but doing it on even footing before dropping the weights.
Yeah, and she has nothing on her besides her equipment, right? So Garen is able to get one of the petrocyte cuffs on one of her hands while she's off balance, and she tells him again she's not a mage, and she actually saved his sister from his comrades. And he should think about that before he keeps this up, because if he doesn't know where she is, they're gonna find her and they're gonna do their duty. And Garen's like, "Oh fuck."
and luckily, like, Katarina is like well informed up to this point, so like she's able to keep like name dropping. Is also like, you could ask Captain Eureka, she was there when it happened.
Yeah.
Which again, I'm still blown away that Captain Eureka's incompetence. Like, oh, you killed all my guard, but Garen, you said you know Garen? All right, good luck.
And that makes me think, it's funny you brought that up, because that makes me think a little bit more, right, into the whole concept of, oh, maybe Captain Eureka, like that mission was not supposed to reach Garen. So when Kat brought Garen up, she was like, "Oh no, yeah. Okay, cool, whatever. If Garen's involved, then we need to leave this where this at, because we didn't want to do this because his sister's involved," right? And you have these two essential, it's both him and his sister doing something rebellious within the, the standards of Demacia, during the Mage Uprising, during this mission Katarina's doing. And she's using that chaos to her advantage at these moments to get the better of people she usually wouldn't, right? Because remember, this whole trap is set up for her. She's supposed to fail, but there's all this chaos happening that is actually helping her make it through these points in this mission.
Yep. And that's one of the reasons that she has been relying on it so heavily.
Mhm.
But again, it is chaos. Like she's not in control of it, which is, reflected by the fact that Garrett's up here going, "Get in the cuffs, mage." Like,
In the cuffs, mage. Ignatius, please.
Ignatius, please.
So we wrap up part 2 here, and they go back and forth until there's this massive explosion in the distance, and both are in shock. And Garen decides, yeah, this situation is more important to take care of than whatever you are. Kat agrees, obviously, and she leaves in her showboating way. She loves doing a damn swan dive. Swan dives off the balcony. Obviously, Garen's like, "Hey, what's your name?" She's like, "I'm not going to tell you because we both know I'm just going to lie." And then she swan dives off the building, which is so funny.
It's so Katarina.
Yep. She's
Just
playful, man.
just a flair for the dramatics. Also, the explosion, like that explosion, seeing it in this comic versus the Lux comic.
Yeah.
I love this panel the best because of just the shock faces on Garrett and Katarina.
Yeah.
Like their faces are so goofy of like, huh? and then it's the immediate huh face followed by, "I'm good. Are you good?"
Yeah.
"Yeah, we're good. All right."
Yeah, because keep it in perspective, we talked about this in the past. Magic doesn't happen like this in Demacia. A lot of these people have gone their whole lives without seeing any magical display. So seeing that for Garen is like insane. And likewise in Noxus, when you look at magic, we always mention how Swain took power and how big of a shock that was for everyone. Because even though magic is more prevalent in the underworld of Noxus, you don't see grand displays of it.
Yeah, like this isn't a mainstream thing, and then all of a sudden, like it's on pay-per-view, as if like this is just another Tuesday in the Magic community.
Just another Tuesday.
And it's like, what in the world is happening? But especially for the Demacians, your whole nation's built inside of a petricite forest. Like the forest
Inside of
eats it.
petricite walls.
Like everything's petricite because fuck magic. And here's a nuclear bomb going off in the city. How did this happen? It's like you go to the fire extinguisher to put a fire out, but the fire extinguisher's on fire. That's what this is.
Just people yelling in the street, "What is my taxes going to?" So this takes us to part 3 to wrap it all up. And Kat now knows she took too long dealing with Garen. Obviously, we've lost sunlight if you're looking at the panels. And she has to make it. She knows she's not going to make it in time through the gates, right? It's too late. But in the distance, she sees a vanguard on a flying mount and gets an idea.
All right. And again, like this is reflecting as far as what Katarina has been doing this whole time, which is just using the chaos to her advantage. She doesn't have a plan because the plan was for her to die. And if she doesn't want to die, she has to go with the flow. And luckily, there's somebody, there's somebody nearby that might be able to give her a lift. Let's go get a lift.
Yeah, so she hops on the back of this mount, puts her knife towards the throat of the rider, and he mentions, he's like, "There's no point in doing any of that. This mount's only going to listen to me. They're only loyal to me, and they won't listen to you." And she's like, "Okay, cool. Well, then tell her or them to take me outside the gates. You're going to take me outside the gates if you want to live, and drop me anywhere. I don't care. I just need to get outside."
And luckily, she doesn't give the guy a chance to answer her because she just spanks the what is it, hippogriff?
Yeah.
Like gives him a little spank and he does the horse thing of like, "Oh." And now they're flying, so it's like, all right, cool, you either kill us both or you fly us out of here.
Yeah, and then on the ground we see Captain Jaredin holding a crossbow and suddenly there's a thunk, or the thunk happens first in the side of the Vanguard, and he's surprised, the bird's surprised, she's surprised, and then we get a shot of Captain Sheridan holding the crossbow, right? So we know who fired it, and then he slightly says, "For Noxus." It reminds me of the, spoilers for a recent Captain America comic within the last couple of years, where they did the Hail Hydra twist, kind of like that. I don't know if that was the inspiration for it, but it's kind of like that panel.
Yeah, and this is like the big reveal of this issue, which is that it's like now we know where everyone was getting specifically the Noxians were getting their information to build this whole thing together. It was Captain Sheridan. Captain Sheridan is dirty.
Yep. And the mount doesn't get hit, right? So its rider's falling, it's upset. So it sees Katarina falling, goes to where Katarina is, grabs her, misses with one of its talons, scratches her side with the talon and breaks one of her knives, and then lets her loose over the forest, and she falls like I don't know how many feet. And as she's falling, she kind of says in her own mind, "Father, I'm sorry," and then hits the ground with a crunch.
Yeah, this is not a peaceful landing at all. She gets dropped.
Yeah.
And that is where the comic wraps up with just an unconscious, possibly broken Katarina on the ground. It's like do the Yamcha meme.
Yeah, and these panels are cool because with, obviously the sunlight's gone, so we're in dusk, and the contrast of her hair during all this action is pretty cool in that final shot. The colors are used. This is like, the comic is, like, the illustration's great.
It's very good.
Yeah, it's very well done, and it moves at a quick pace as well, right? The textures are cool, the colors are cool. But yeah, that's where we leave off. And in our general discussion section, not too much here. I think we kind of talked about it. Like this episode, I wanted to mention, just the laissez-faire that Katarina is an assassin, right? So the way she interacts, the reason she's able to have fun in these situations is because she was raised to have fun in these situations, right? It always feels fucked up when she's just taking out soldier after soldier, but everyone involved is very serious. It's just for her, it's another Tuesday.
Yep, and this issue probably does up to this point does the most as far as showing off the cavalier nature that she approaches it with too.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even though like her fight with Garen was tight, and she's even mentioning that to herself that it's like, well, like this guy's really good.
Yeah.
She was still, toying with him.
Yeah.
She's still doing a bit of the flair. Like she's not fighting for her life.
Yeah.
She is fighting for style, and hopefully her life is preserved by it. Like that, and that's how she approaches her own like day-to-day life. And I think that like it's also a bit of like a survival instinct, because if she thinks about it too much, it's very easy to get lost in your head, because she even had a moment of like, okay, like now I got to figure out how to get back to Noxus and maybe kill Swain or maybe kill my dad.
Yeah.
Like one of them's got to die, because it seems like both of them want me dead.
Yeah.
And I got to figure out which one wants to be dead the most and kill them. So like she's in a weird scenario. So for her, it's probably like refreshing to have all these crown cards around. Like, you guys are really fun. Yeah. Let's go play.
Yeah. This is like a playground for her, right? There's less at stake. And I think that's why she's kind of taken a liking, not just to Lux, but also to Garen, right? Because they embody some Noxus elements, but it's not as serious. It feels more like an intro class than anything. And you're right. Because everything she's involved in is so serious and world altering when it comes to Runeterra, she has to treat it with levity, or else it probably would be all consuming, which is what she criticizes Talon for, right? Because Talon can't have fun because he takes it all as seriously as it needs to be taken.
Yeah, no, there are rules for a reason, damn it.
Yeah.
Like that's how Talon is. So he is the hall monitor.
Yeah.
While Katarina's just the girl trying to smoke in the bathroom.
That's perfect. So yeah, we'll leave with that. The perfect analogy, as always, from Hedge. Thanks for listening, as always, guys, and we'll be back soon with the next episode.
Yeah, take care, everybody.